All right, good morning. Today a bit earlier than usual. Day 20 was all about how to grow your teaching business from a small, regular, low 5-figure business into a bigger, eventually like 6-figure business. Now, the whole idea of this program that we're going through, or this challenge, is to find students one-on-one through LinkedIn, right? So you try to find students through LinkedIn, through more organic methods, and then eventually you can scale this with ads. Now, once you are successful with your one-on-one teaching, you can then turn that into teaching groups. I was always wondering why he didn't suggest teaching groups right away. His argumentation is that it's better to test your program on one-on-one students first and get a lot of feedback and adapt your program accordingly. So then when you're offering it to groups, it's set, it's very good already, right? And of course you have to keep working on your niche and keep getting to know your niche much, much better, so that your program can just become the best program possible, right? I think with anything in life, there's always room for improvement. So it's a matter of improving it over time. So you go from one-on-one teaching to groups, and then eventually the idea would be to remove yourself even more from this and then offer online courses. So what I meant with remove yourself even more is when you're teaching one-on-one, you can already start pre-record some videos and send it to your students ahead of the class. I do think this is a good idea because often, let's say there's grammar explanations or a few words and sentences where you as a teacher simply have to just talk at the student, and this is something that you can sort of pre-record and let the student watch ahead of class so that they're not losing time in class, so that in class you can maximize the speaking time, you can maximize the time that you're interacting with the student. Now granted, this also means the student will need to be motivated enough to watch the video. I will say from my own experience, there are two types of students: the ones that are really committed and that make time, and the ones that can barely squeeze it into their schedule, and of course in between. But I do think you need to understand what kind of student you're working with. Ideally, you want the one who watches your video ahead of class. So yes, and then eventually you would turn all these pre-recorded videos into a full online course that can work on its own. Now, the whole challenge that we're doing, this 21-day teacher challenge, is actually really smart from a business perspective because James, the instructor, is never present. All the videos are pre-recorded. The Q&A is a worksheet of questions that other previous teacher entrepreneurs have asked. He doesn't have to be present very much. Also, he's very smart. He outsourced the kind of live sessions to his employees of the company. So he actually doesn't have to be there. I don't think I've ever seen him live. I've seen him on videos, but obviously those videos are recorded. So it is a smart business model and you still feel like he's talking to you, right? So this would be the dream. And of course, this is something you have to build and gradually improve over several years. But yeah, this is what we were looking at today. It sounds great. Of course, I think on paper it always sounds a lot easier than it is in reality, but it's good to know where you can get to, and also that you really just have to focus on where you're at right now so that you can eventually get to this point. I'll see you tomorrow for the last day of this challenge. Yeah, stay tuned till then, and